whether it was Omni Slash or whether it was Archon even. Zalae and Firebat have always been very good friends for as long as I can even remember. And so, you know, it'll be fun to see these two continue to grow, but they're also both in Division B, so it could also be playing the spoiler for each other in terms of their chances of playoffs or even relegation. Loss here is putting the player a path towards that relegation while the other towards playoffs.
Yep.
Let's get in the game. As Firebat munching on a Gatorade bottle. I always prefer to do that too to get myself hyped up for some Hearthstone games.
Me too. I think
Firebat
he's
gives
given up.
Yep, so
He's like, I got a mulligan. I don't have time for this.
starting off 0-1 in the series.
Oh, man. That's a tough matchup, though.
It is. Teeth versus Plastic doesn't tend to go Teeth's way.
No. Especially the later
Very
it goes.
polarized.
Yeah, you kind of got to get the win right away in Teeth versus Plastic, or else you're going to be hurting.
It's kind of grindy, if you ask me, and often ends up becoming a fatigue battle.
Yep. Well, next matchup to talk about is the Soul Demon Hunter versus Face Hunter. And, you know, traditionally, the Soul Demon Hunter does have a significant advantage. It is one of its best matchups because it's got a lot of the tools necessary to deal with the aggression. It's got a lot of healing. It's got a lot of early game board clears, and it can end the game before the damage ramps up too much and you get whittled down by the hero power. So that's a recipe for success against Face Hunter. But this Face Hunter is a little bit different. It's harder for me to evaluate. I don't know if Kobold Sand Troopers and Toxic Reinforcements help enough for the clock.
I like how much Firebat was still struggling. Finally got the wrapper off. Yes, it is safe to drink that water bottle with no branding on it. Good job, Firebat. And keep your $1,000 this week. Firebat does have this Cobalt Sand Trooper available on 2 if you'd like. And it does follow a nice curve. The Scavenger's Ingenuity is best played early, though. Just because you can capitalize on the fact that you have earlier tempo compared to your opponent.
Okay. Well, there's the soul fragments that are going to be pretty necessary. There's also the Ace Hunter Crean.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, Hunter Ace is a pretty strong card if you're able to get ahead on the board. And if you anticipate yourself trading a lot, then it ends up being a very powerful tempo option to play. Not to mention the 4 health just makes it really difficult for Firebat to want to have to deal with it. And if Zalae is able to pick up, like, you know, positive trades because of the immunity every single round, it's going to end pretty ugly for Firebat long term. So he does have to make a couple of tough decisions if he wants to kill Hunter Ace or not.
Yeah, what it also does is, you know, one of the big things is you can trade with your weapon into minions because its characters are immune while attacking, not just minions. So you can net a lot of, you know, positive health or value, like minion value with that card. But those bite the dust. Holy moly, that's some damage right there. Yeah, I want some soul fragments in my deck.
Yeah, I think the Soul Fragment makes sense here. Ooh, Face Stalker to help get some of those secrets out too. It's a nice pickup here for Firebat. And him jockeying for early game board position has led him with a lead, but there's that Shard Shattered Mystic ready to go off of those Soul Fragments.
So the secret spread here is interesting because it's explosive, freezing, and pressure plate, and that's it, one of each. So he actually doesn't even have to worry about pack tactics at all. when considering Shard Shatter Mystic, so doesn't need to worry about that. Maybe Pressure Plate if he wants to expend. If he was going to play a spell this turn, he would want to expend it before the Shard Shatter Mystic, so that he sticks the 3/2. So like, say if he wants to Chaos Strike, then he would play that first, and then play the Shard Shatter Mystic. So
I think yeah, I think it's totally fair. And Zalae is going to go with Chaos Strike first. Push that damage, clear that board, scrub that dish.
The only downside potential for the Chaos Strike is if he had drawn both of his Soul Fragments, which very unlikely. All right, here's so Vectis is interesting in the fact that if you've only played one Death Rattle minion, only one of the Vectis will actually gain the Death Rattle. Like this.
Still
so we'd only played
though.
the Cobalt Sand Trooper, so Vectis will only be one Death Rattle. He would have had to play 2 Death Rattle minions in order for it to copy, or 2 Cobalt Sand Troopers in order for both to get the Death Rattle. It's one of the things that I was very disappointed in the card when testing this deck. I was like, that's kind of weird. That makes the card seem a lot less powerful because you need to play both of them in order for you to get both Death Rattles on these Whelps. But still, that's a 1/1 Death Rattle that deals 3 damage to Zalae. So I wonder if he feels like he's in a position where he can race. He would push 8 damage this turn. Next turn he has 8,
upstairs.
9, 10, 11. Yeah, he just has a lethal setup next turn.
Right, and Firebat doesn't have taunts, right, to stop this?
Yeah. I would certainly hope not. How dare you say that a Face Hunter could even have the possibility of playing a top minion?
Well, it's not out of this world to think that some Face Hunters play Demon Companion and you can get Shima. So it's entirely possible.
It's
to be able to
always
get that.
her fuff.
It's always Refa. Yeah. Well, it's not Refa this time. It's not anything. Zalae is going to take it game number 1 here with that twin slice, second slice, hero power, go to the face. Remember when we thought that this was a nerf? Going from 0 to 1 mana. Jeez, look at this damage.
I know. Pretty insane. I think I even
Hey,
said
Firebat,
earlier.
he thought he was like, okay, I think I'm okay.
Yeah. Nope, he's not okay.
Yeah, and that's going to do it. Zalae wins game number 1 as he cruises to an easy victory in a race against the Face Hunter, able to use that lifesteal to get a big swing and use the twin slices to wrap it up. So that does it for game number 1. Pretty nice and quick there as Zalae gets that early advantage. But he does have to win with his mage and his druid remaining. And we do have questions about the turtle mage after watching it today. So we'll talk about it a little bit more after the jump. We're going to take our final break up today. When we come back, we're going to conclude week number 6 here at Hearthstone Grandmasters. Stay tuned.
Hearthstone Grandmasters is brought to you by T-Mobile. Switch today and rank up to America's largest 5G network. T-Mobile.
I only have one item to a deserted island.
The one object I would take to the deserted island would be a bottle of water.
I would probably take Zalae with me to the deserted island. He seems like a guy that'd be really good in survival situations.
I just want to bring my laptop with the data. Can I carry a boat? Does that work?
And who knows, maybe he's got other items on him, and then those can count as like bonus items. Or hopefully he's not just showing up naked, right? Like, so he's at least got clothes to work with, and maybe there's something in his pockets.
I think my girlfriend would technically count. I'd probably take her with me.
Si tuviera que llevar un objeto a una isla desierta para poder sobrevivir, sería un machete.
You know, 2 heads together is better than 1, and I'm sure we'd figure our way out of the desert island that way. If not, I can eat him, right? So there you go.
Welcome back, everyone, to the home stretch here of Week 6 of Hearthstone Grandmasters for the Americas. Firebat and Zalae, two legends of the Americas scene, going at it right now. Game number 1 did go to Zalae as he had the Demon Hunter get a fast win over the Face Hunter, but we kind of anticipate that. Demon Hunter seems to be particularly well-suited to fight some of these aggressive decks if they have Shardshatter Mystic in their opening hand, and Zalae did. Now let's go to Turtle Mage, where, we haven't actually seen too much of Turtle Mage actually dominating the way we expected it to. Maybe it's maybe the fact that the meta is shifting. Maybe it's player difference. I know Zalae's been putting a lot of time playing Turtle Mage on his stream, for example, as he's been playing Heroic Tavern Brawl with it, having some pretty good success. So it's not like he is not experienced in it. Clearly he's practiced it. He's proficient with it. At least enough to beat up some noobs on ladder.
Beating up noobs. My favorite pastimes. Firebat is going to queue up the Malagos Druid in this first game here. I feel like that's probably his best matchup against the Turtle Mage, given his remaining decks. You could argue that the Face Hunter is good, but again, Zalae is playing the more defensive-oriented Turtle Mage, which is, funny to say considering the deck is just, defensive-oriented at its core, since it is kind of this tempo that turns into combo deck. He's playing the Cloud Prince Ice Barrier version with Rustied Raiders, and sadly, no Astromancer Solarian, which is just a real bummer, man.
Yeah, it's kind of sad when you don't have that ability to Hail Mary with the Solarian Prime, but we've seen Turtle Mages survive perfectly fine without it, so I don't think you need it very heavily. Finds Lordkeeper Polkelt and a potion, so this might get really interesting, TJ.
Yep. He wants to dodge the potion. All right, dodged it.
So you're going to coin out the Lord Keeper next turn, you think, just to avoid that possibility?
Oh no, absolutely not. His deck is even he has even less cards in between his Bertollan Pilgrims and his Potion of Illusion since he's playing this version, because he has no Blizzards. So if he plays Lord Keeper Polka next turn, he'll draw his second potion on 1, 3, 5, 6. He'll draw it on turn 10. He would draw his second potion, which is when you would want to start comboing. So,
Right.
definitely not the case. So now he will draw it. Ooh, but he drew Cartoon off the top. So now he'll draw it. He has Tortollan. Tortollan's on 5. Cartoon's on 6. Rusty Raider on 7 and 8. Jandis on 9. Cloud Prince on 10. And then Bone Race / Potion. So the earliest he could draw it now is turn 11. And he has 2 Bone Wraiths in deck, which means that he could even draw it as late as turn 13. What to do? So he took the risk there. I'm always on the fence about this. We had a similar play with Nalgidon in his series that happened yesterday, where he was playing Turtle Mage and he had drawn 1 potion and took the risk and didn't play Lord Keeper Polkill and then drew second potion, so he got punished. But now Zalae is on a clock. The thing about Malagos Druid is you're not pressuring them. They already have you on a clock. So
Right.
if you put yourself on a clock and they have you on a clock, that should just motivate you more to win the game faster.
Right.
So it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, I feel.
Yeah, double the clock. It's a lot. I mean, that's I'm not sure how time exactly works in the Hearthstone universe, but you know, that definitely sounds like it's too quick of a pace for a turtle to keep up with, TJ. Yeah, as you know from the legendary fairy tale, the Malagos. Well, the Malagos actually. Hold on. I was looking at this swipe pickup before I was going to make a really bad joke. Does this actually give Firebat? Should he be holding on to these lightning blooms now so that he can combo with that Germination and the Malagos? Or he's going to go for it now? All right.
Whoa!
Okay, I wasn't really expecting him to do it this turn. I was thinking, you know, if he can put out 2 Malagos and then Zalae can't really do anything with it. But that makes sense, right? If he can't deal with the double Malagos in the same turn, he certainly can't deal with one right now.
Yeah.
Unless some kind of generation found a way, but I don't think it would. Wow. Such an aggressive play from Firebat, and I love it. Germination is so good in this spot if he wants to completely take over with big burst damage here.
Is he gonna Lightning Bloom again, though, for the swipe?
I mean, it doesn't really get much better than this.
I suppose. So then he'd be... These Malagos aren't dying, so then he'd be just... what? No, he'd still be a little bit of ways away. Because that's
Right.
14, but Zalae is actually going to heal back up 6 of this, so he'll go back up to 18, and then he pushes 4. I guess it is still just a... he still needs a little bit more than just 1 Moonfire.
Right. Oof. So if Zalae goes for the Tortollan Pilgrim, it's just a little bit... It's a lot earlier than what he wants it to be. He wants to be on 9 or 10 mana, get that flexibility to free from the Malagos, get the ability to start copying these Anubisat defenders and healing himself. But right now, he is stuck. He's also playing some taunts in his deck. I think that's probably because he anticipated a lot more aggro. And he's right. Firebat's playing things like the Face Hunter, so the Rusty Raider would be much more effective. But in here, not really doing much.
Oh.
Time runs out on me.
Still curious about the I guess, like, I'm still like trying to wrap my head around the Malagos play like that. Like,
Right.
if it's necessary, right? Or if you could just hold on to it and just wait to combo, since you're not dying anytime soon. Because now, if he wants to draw cards, he's going to be healing Zalae even more. Going to be putting up to 20, and then if he wants to push through this extra damage from the Malagos, it's going to bring Zalae even back up to 26. So now it's starting to be like, okay, well, if Zalae just kills one of the Malagos, all of a sudden Firebat's out of range.
Right.
Which I think this is still looking good for Firebat because he is. I don't think that his Malagos are going to die anytime soon, but 3 turns maybe, because the Rusty Raiders, even at 1 mana, Battlecry still lets them gain 4 attack, so you can keep bouncing those back and start trading into wars, which is kind of the interesting part about them.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about the garden animals here and pushing damage with Malagos just as... Oh, we find the Alexstrasza. Yeah,
All right.
okay.
Yeah. He wins.
Okay.
That's game.
Well done, Firebat. No, he completely spotted that. I was just like thinking about how garden animals let you push the 8 damage with Malagos that is on the board, but this does something much more impactful, which is guarantee that Firebat has the 22 from hand from the Moonfires and the Malagos.
I wonder.
And that's always been one of like the more interesting strengths of Firebat. It seems like he's really good at understanding very big macro lines and being able to immediately switch into like, I'm going to try to kill him in 2 turns. And it was one of the things that he actually pioneered when he was first becoming the world champion. It was like a thing where people were like thinking so much about value and tempo and obsessing about like these little incremental advantages. Firebat's like, well, if you just keep doing this, you're going to win. And I'm going to try to present 2-turn lethal a lot. And it just seems like he went for that and he was rewarded.
Runs out on me.
Yep. And now like Zalae, almost no matter what he does here, I can't think of any like generation of Jandis or some kind of Swordsman here that keeps him alive. I think Zalae is probably just going to end up playing a Tortillon Token or a Freeze here.
What makes something real?
Yeah, and so that's going to do it. Well done by Firebat, and game number 2 goes over to the Malagos Druid.
So much damage. Oh, that's
Yeah,
insane.
it's pretty absurd.
Yeah, but yeah, well done by Firebat. Sometimes it can be hard to make those plays, considering like, even my rationalization saying, do you have to do that because you can just wait and play it later once you've drawn like the actual full 30 damage combo. But doing it this way means that Zalae had to maybe even play differently because there was Malagos on the board, and he knows the deck. He knows outside of something randomly generated, which would have had to be Evolving Missiles instead of Brain Freeze. In that instance, you are guaranteed to win in that situation almost regardless, even if you miss Moonfire and miss Alexstrasza for a couple more turns, because Zalae didn't have an answer to it for a couple more turns. So, nicely spotted.
Yeah, so that's going to be a tied series going to game number 3, and now we have Demon Hunter and Hunter versus Mage and Druid. So the copies of the classes, right, the duplicates, they've been eliminated from this series. So we get to see if Zalae can hold off the aggression from Firebat, or Firebat kind of get overwhelmed by these slow, impending combo decks coming out of their opponent. I gotta say that I'm feeling Firebat on this one right now, just because I just feel like they have a very strong proactive game plan. Proactive game plans in Hearthstone have always been historically just like the stronger strategies to kind of go with, unless the defensive combo decks either have really powerful broken synergies, or if the pilot's just absolutely absurd, and usually you require both in order to have success. And it just feels like Soul Demon Hunter and Face Hunter are really good at punishing decks like Turtle Mage right now. But I am curious to see if the text from Zalae, who's playing more of that taunt aspect of his Turtle Mage, right, has the Rusty Raiders, and he's playing Cloud Prince, which is always fun to think about too. and ice barriers, he certainly knows that Firebat wants to be aggressive. So maybe that ends up being enough here to stop Demon Hunter.
Yeah, once you start the combo from Zalae, you don't lose against Demon Hunter. You play an ice barrier every turn, unless you've drawn both of them. So Firebat at that point has to piece together like huge bursts of damage the turn the combo starts, or else there's eight health gain every turn. So, the one thing is Zalae doesn't run like weapon removal, but he just runs so much other extra stuff to try and fight in the early game. The double Bone Wraith, the ice barriers, double Earthen Ring Farseer, Rusty Raiders, which 1-for-1 deals with both the 5-drops, Glaibound Adept and Soul Shard Lapidary from the Demon Hunter, and leaves a taunt behind. So this version of the Turtle Mage seemed like it's nicely teched to go up well against Soul Demon Hunter and the Face Hunter deck of Firebat. A lot of potion in hand.
Yep, potion in hand, and Sphere Sapiens in the other. I'm just waiting for the inevitable. So it's like, you know what? I don't think I want this card, and then immediately gets pumped with the potion. A new fate.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Every turn you draw you choose a new fate, and it's just you clench a little bit. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. But now we'll see. Oh, well, he already had a Prison Observer, anyways.
Just go 2 in a row. Soul Fragment drawn immediately.
Yeah, this definitely looks like a start here for Firebat that looks promising just solely based off that early game curve. But, I mean, the disruption here from Zalae looks pretty plentiful. He's got healing. He's got AoE. I mean, pretty ideal start here for Zalae.
Yeah.
Gonna be hard for Firebat to stick anything. I guess he could go for the Glaibound Adept this turn, though. And then Zalae has to present some way to kill that because it's just dealing 2 to the Glaibound Adept. And perhaps playing the Learn Draconic has also revealed enough to Firebat that he doesn't have to worry about, say, a Ray of Frost or Brain Freeze.
Yeah. Did he choose the Ice Barrier? I'm guessing yes.
Yes.
Funnily enough, that also he's so close to completing that side quest with potion in hand. He just needs one more mana's worth of spells. Okay, this is an awkward turn for Firebat because if he doesn't trade with this Glaibound Adept, the second Prison Observer will kill it. But that's 6 damage, which is quite a lot.
I grow impatient.
Miss.
Yes. It's a lot, but the Ice Barrier, I mean, that's kind of what it's for, right? To help you offset some of this early game damage. Another thing to consider is that if Firebat just keeps going face and ignoring these Imprisoned Observers, they will rack up damage very quickly.
Yeah.
Can't fall too far behind on the board. Otherwise, the Turtle Mage can switch to a Tempo Mage and just start freezing you aggressively and trying to push damage.
Skull of Gul'dan. Bone Wraith. Can just Bone Wraith ping this turn.
Yeah, Bone Wraith does look really strong in this spot when you anticipate your opponent to have a lot of weapon swings, but that's where that Consume Magic is good. So that taunt version is going to require a little bit extra juice. Perhaps, maybe that's where the Potion Evolution itself in the hand is being good. But kind of like what we were talking about before, Zalae has a pretty strong board here, and Firebat can't just be ignorant of it. Oh my goodness. Okay. A lot to think here for Firebat. Over the course of 2 turns, Marrow Slicer, Hero Power, plus the Sunshard Lapidary is 15 damage. It's not enough to kill, but if he picks up like Twin Slice, oh, another Lapidary, he'll be good to go.
Close.
He could also just pick up Blade Dance. Yeah, he could also just pick up Blade Dance and maybe clear off this board, and he'll be in a good spot. Oh, is he thinking about trading into a minion at all? I don't think so. The turn before Potion.
Oh. The problem becomes, how does Firebat deal with this Cartoon Defender now that he's used a Consume Magic? That's a double whammy threat. It represents taunt, so he can't attack through it, and the healing. So it can absorb a lot of damage from Demon Hunter. I'm curious, though, if Zalae wants to get potentially a little bit greedy here and go for Earthring Farseer plus Potion of Illusion. You go up to 16. Firebat has a guaranteed 4 in play. So he'd essentially be at 12. How likely is it that Firebat deals 12 damage with 7 mana available?
What to do?
Soul Shard Lapidary double Twin Slice would be 9 from hand. So he'd be safe there. Double Twin Slice plus... it's not worth it. Just take the healing now. You can always go for Earthring Farseer or Potion next turn.
Firebat does have to worry about dying in 2 turns. I mean, Zalae could have lethal with Tundra Rhino next turn.
Demons? Demons.
If I'm Firebat, I might consider digging a little bit for Blade Dance here. I guess that's only really through the Chaos Strike. You can't play Skull Gul'dan here.
Yeah.
I grow impatient.
Very awkward.
He's also got to worry about dying. If he takes 3 damage from this Cartoon Defender, he goes down to 13. There's 10 damage on board.
Okay. So he does this. Sunshard Mystic. Spirit Jailer. Not dead. What he sees. But I'm ready for that fat Tundra Rhino to bring us home! Oh, he doesn't have a secret, it's a side quest. Oh, jeez. I really thought it was lethal for a second. Man, when people are just going to start jamming Nightblade again, TJ? That's what I want to know. Skips!
Taking him back.
Second potion!
At this point, it really just doesn't matter. Doesn't even have Tortolan right now, so you could just use Earthring Farseer and then Potion this turn. And then he can go like Jandis Potion next turn or something and just get a ton of value. Also, second Potion activates his side quest.
That's true. Summon a 6/6.
Which one of these?
Time runs out
I think
on
an
me.
Imprisoned Observer, but I'll also settle for a Bone Wraith. Don't think you need the Earthring Farseer. Imprisoned Observer has a more of a benefit for getting it out earlier, so you can get that activation. Might make it easier to clear something up.
Right. Looks like Firebat knows about the Bone Wraith and the Earthing Farseer in hand, but I think he's got to find a way to heal this turn.
Yep. Go up to 16. 11 on board. Still safe. Well, there's the Pilgrim. Funnily enough, Pilgrims
There it is.
can just be used to pull
Solid.
an Ice Barrier from the deck.
Right.
And if it
then
sticks,
you
then he
get
can
the
potion
Cloud
it and do it
Prince.
again.
Yeah.
My eyes are open. Another soul to
Oh, he's going for another potion
Wow. That's a
to
lot
get
of value.
maximum heal. And then he's going to kill off. And that makes sense given that he has the 6/6 dragon too, so this is even more tempo. Well done by Zalae. Now he's pushing that 2-turn lethal, and Firebat looks like he's in real big trouble here.
I don't even know which one of these to play. I'd probably just play an Earthring Farseer just so it can attack next turn. But
Right.
Prison Observer again.
Yeah, I guess this Turtle Mage, featuring a bunch of defensive cards like the Ice Barrier and the Taunts, ends up being really clutch. Okay. This
So
actually might work.
If he nails the Blade Dance and can Soul Shear the second half of the Bone Wraith, there's actually only 5 minions on board because the 2 prison
Right.
observers are still in prison. If he hits Bone Wraith here, he can Soul Shear and then push damage and heal.
You don't want to Soul Shear first, huh? To increase the targets that you want to hit.
No, because you'd rather have the chance to push damage base. Doesn't hit it.
time grows short.
Well, Firebat at least keeps the game alive instead of getting out-tempoed by what he sees. He also saw a double potion. Zalae sees a Rustied Raider. A big taunt minion just to get in the way of Firebat. With 1 Blade Dance already used. Zalae's in commanding position here.
Looking at the remaining cards in deck for Firebat, he's got 5 Soul Fragments, Twin Slice, another Shard Mystic, another Blade Dance, Altruist, Kane, Glavebound, Skull, and Sociologist. So, Firebat's not out of this yet. If he can hold on for a little bit, since Zalae's not like fully pressuring, he might be able to piece together something.
Okay, that helps.
Yeah, I was thinking like this turn kind of not had to be, but would have been nice if it was Skull, so then he could try and set up for like a big Altruist turn or something along those lines. But Shard Mystic, yep, it does help.
This power.
So I guess with 2 potions being used, and you know that there's no chance for you to stick this board, do you just play this Marrow Slicer and go in?
Demons. Demons.
Such a beautiful sheath.
Yes, more damage efficient. He wants to stick a minion, I suppose. He just might be starting to run out of damage if he keeps having to sink damage into minions. Still an Ice Barrier up. You want one of those? Why not, I guess. It's burn damage. What else would he be searching for in his deck right now? Maybe Cloud Prince?
He already sorted Cloud Prince at the bottom, though, right?
That's true, yeah.
So, yeah, I guess Violet Spellwing. Like, it doesn't really seem like there's much that he could do aggressively outside of this Jandis Bear off.
He does have 2 Wand Thieves in the deck.
I can't think of a compelling reason to use the Sphere of Sapience here in this position and like get a different card. I just think that overall you're still going to be playing the Jandis.
Yeah.
So they might double Amber Watcher.
It's funny, he spent so much time thinking about what card to draw that his actual turn was only like 10 seconds.
All right. Okay.
There are 3 Soul Fragments.
Right, so that plus the hero power will allow him to kill off almost everything. Jeez.
Demons? Demons.
Can he really win by killing everything? I suppose.
I mean, maybe because he can stick something onto the board and make it tricky for Zalae to deal damage to him, but like Firebat doesn't have the healing, and I think he's still gonna have some minion stick, and also his souls are gonna die. Okay, so he sees which one. Yeah, sees which one he'd kill, but you know, he also had the guarantee because you can just use the Lapidary and the Rusher to kill the final one. Seems like this is a pass here, unless you want to donate the Wand Maker to a good cause.
Oh yeah, Wand Thief.
Wand Thief.
I want that one. These Potion of Illusion and Prison Observers have just been sick because it means Firebat just can never stick a minion. Some lethal outs here with Wand Thief.
I guess you anticipate your opponent to play a spell to try to bail themselves out, so I think Netherwind Portal makes sense here. Not to mention there's still that mind game of like Counterspell or Ice Barrier.
Yeah. If he's planning on playing the Rusty Raider this turn, I may have liked Blizzard in that instance. Just because after this last Imprisoned Observer... no, never mind. Because he's setting up a lethal, so if Altruist... Altruist was the card I was worried about. If Altruist did come out, you would have an answer to it in the form of the Imprisoned Observer unleashing. This does make sense. Well, if a lot of Soul Fragments come out...
You don't pick the ones.
Needs Consume Magic into Soul Fragments? Nope.
Alright, well that's going to do it here. Firebat backed to the wall, and that is going to be a Game 3 victory for the Turtle Mage. Zalae, with his techs, his taunts, his secrets, his ice barriers, leading the way for a very strong anti-aggro game plan. And you know, anticipating decks like Demon Hunter could end up being to his benefit if that's what he was accounting for with his anti-aggro strategy.
Yeah, worked out quite well. And now the only deck that Zalae has remaining is the Malagos Druid. And I mentioned earlier, but this Malagos Druid is an interesting variation of it. Doesn't run Geppetto. Runs Force Warden Omu and Anubisat Defenders. Or not Force Warden Omu, just Anubisat Defenders. Omu is pretty standard. It's very lean. right? But I've tried to play Malagos Druid recently without Geppetto, and if you fall behind, it does feel super difficult to come back into a game. Because Geppetto is one of those cards that gives you the opportunity to combo or kind of cheat out things that you otherwise wouldn't be able to. Outside of Omu, this deck will fight very honestly. Everything can be accounted for. But we'll see if that's going to make a difference against aggro. I think it does make sense because the Nubasat defenders let you play things like Overflow, for instance, and still be able to defend yourself.
Begin.
He also plays Speaker Gidra, which is not a given as well in Malagos Druid. Plays double Crystal Power. So he's got like the maximum amount of healing and defense that you can pack into a Malagos Druid. It just doesn't straight up combo quite as well. But first test will be the Face Hunter for Firebat.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, he can get a Refa.
Oh, he's got the combo, Dan. He's got the Toxic
He's got
Reinforcements
Vectis
and the
and
Vectis.
Toxic Reinforcements. I like it. I like it.
He's also got Pressure Plate in hand, which is, I think, honestly pretty key because you can time it to the Guardian Animals turn. Unfortunately, though, that's considering Firebat would be playing a normal Face Hunter deck, which this is not. He actually only has 3 total Seekers in the deck, and he's drawn 2 of them. So one of his Face Stalkers now will not pull a Seeker from his deck. And Zalae is ramping.
Woo! I mean, this is one as explosive as it gets. Hero power.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Refa. It's always Refa.
Oh, hits a Nubasoth. Next turn, Innervate,
I was
Guardian
kinda ready
Animals, and
for it.
Nubasoth. Oh, but he can go Hero Power. Toxic Reinforcements will proc, and then Pressure Plate into the Guardian Animals turn.
Ooh. I like it. Or Freezing Trap.
They both work. The key here is the Hero Power. Oh, he's going full Sand Trooper.
Oh, he wants to Vectis.
Oh, yeah, he wants way more Vectis power.
Yeah. I mean, Firebat also said that it was turn 6, so maybe he's like, he would have to have a second form of ramp, which he did. Firebat. Gonna have to get through this. He does find the Dwarven Sharpshooter, which is kind of nice. But with Crystal Power in hand, Zalae does have a way to stabilize and heal here, and Firebat looks like he is going to be stuck behind these taunt walls. Was it the secret last turn, or was it the Cobalt Sand Trooper? It's looking like Firebat was banking on Zalae not having the immediate turn 7 play. But he did have it a turn earlier.
Yeah, it's hard to guess there, right? We can see the hands, we knew the Innervate was there, but from Firebat's perspective, he had already used ramp, like the hard ramp earlier on in the game. So how likely is it that he has a second form of it and Guardian Animals? Probably not that likely. So he's like, I can just play the Cobalt Sand Trooper this turn and then set up the Pressure Plate on the turn that I know Guardian Animals could be a possibility. And this is just the most possible value from Vectis, is why I guess he wants to go for it this turn, because if he waits one more turn to play Vectis, then he might hit 2 Leper Gnomes, which it's just 1 damage, sure, but hey, that 1 damage can matter.
It matter. Yeah.
Now he has 5 damage and Death Rattles loaded up on the board. Oh my gosh, actually, how much damage does Zalae have with double swipe? If he goes Speaker Gidra just swipe, is he set up for a 2-turn lethal? But he'd go down to 7. Yeah, Speaker Gidra swipe definitely sets up for a 2-turn lethal.
I think that you have to figure out how to race the Face Hunter instead of just kind of play defensive here. And I kind of like this Speak of Gidra swipe setup. It looks too clean as well, TJ. Oh, what? Can also heal himself with this Lightning Bloom and the Crystal Power.
So Speaker Gidra swipe, Lightning Bloom, double Crystal Power.
Time waits for no one.
I mean, this also is fine, right?
I like the other way a lot better.
I think this still sets it up though, right? Because he has the swipe and the hero, the double swipe.
Yes, but you give him an ability to use these minions to clear some of the board.
True.
And play secrets, pressure plate, freezing trap.
Firebat has to kill off some of these minions. Oh no!
What's a big bounce?
That hurts.
He's not playing any secrets, so yep, he's just dead. Swipe.
Not like this.
Lightning Bloom, hero power.
That was really anticlimactic. I was kind of anticipating like a real big thing, but King Mukla does that. And Zalae will win the Battle of the Legends. 3-1, improved to 3-2 score. Puts himself in good playoff position. Firebat's going to fight back to next week and see if he can get into playoffs, or is he going to play in the relegation bracket. But that does it. So pretty quick last game, and overall, love to see some of these small variations of strategies, right, from these players. Like Zalae, with his anti-aggro tech from his Turtle Mage, ended up being really clutch. Versus, I think if he played a traditional list, he might have been in a lot more trouble. Like, let's say he was playing Empanizato's Turtle Mage, I think he would have struggled a lot against Firebat's lineup.
Yeah, just so much less healing. Empanizato did have the Frozen Shadow Weavers, but it felt like those weren't as good as the other tools when you don't have combo, which is the situation that Zalae found himself in. So definitely like the techs, and even the Malagos Druid. Like, it's teched as much as you can tech a Malagos Druid to be a combo deck while still keeping aggressive decks in mind, right? Double Crystal Power, Numasat Defenders, no Geppetto, which is very hard to play against aggressive decks, that type of thing. So nice little strategy, and it came together against Firebat's Soul Demon Hunter and Face Hunter lineup. So, and with that win, now it's like the standings, I guess regardless of who won that matchup, since they were both